Hi, my name is Holly Harris and I'm first author of the paper, Do Dads Make a Difference? Family Feeding Dynamics and Child Fussy Eating in the Journal of Developmental and Behavioural Paediatrics. By the end of this video, you will have an answer to the question of do dads make a difference when it comes to fussy eating? And if you want more information, you can find it in the journal. Fussy eating is a common feeding problem experienced by parents of preschool-aged children. Fussy eaters chronically reject new or familiar foods, and they have a poor variety of food intake. This is an issue because we know eating a wide variety of foods, particularly fruits and vegetables, are key for the long-term prevention of chronic disease. Feeding fussy eaters has mainly been examined in homogeneous samples of highly educated mothers. We know very little about how fussy eating takes place in the family dynamic, particularly families facing greater economic hardship. This is a problem for two reasons. Firstly, dads are involved in child feeding and may respond to food refusal differently compared to mothers. Secondly, families facing greater economic hardship are more likely to use non-responsive feeding practices, such as pressuring their child to eat or using food rewards for eating to avoid food waste. These feeding practices may teach children to eat for reasons unrelated to their appetite and may be associated with an increase in weight gain or poor food preferences. To address these problems, we aim to identify how the level and concordance of non-responsive feeding practices between mothers and fathers are associated with child fussy eating in a sample of socioeconomically disadvantaged mothers and fathers. We looked at 208 mother-father pairs who were recruited from a socioeconomically disadvantaged community in Australia. They filled out surveys about their child's fussy eating and their feeding practices for the Mad for Mealtimes study, which stands for Mums and Dads for Mealtimes. We examined mothers' and fathers' persuasive feeding, reward for eating, and reward for good behaviour. Parents were clustered into 4 groups for each feeding practice based on the level and concordance within the pair. For persuasive feeding, mother-father pairs who were concordantly low rated their child lower in fussy eating than parent pairs who were discordant or mother-father pairs who were concordantly high. So this tells us that it doesn't matter whether a high amount of persuasive feeding is coming from mum or dad or both, persuasive feeders had fussier eaters. For reward for eating, mothers and fathers who were concordantly low rated their child lower in fussy eating compared to mother-father pairs who were concordantly high. We found no differences across the reward for behaviour clusters. So in answer to the question, do dads make a difference? The answer is yes. But most importantly, both parents are equally as important when it comes to feeding fussy eaters. Specifically, our research showed that mums and dads who are on the same page and avoid using non-responsive feeding practices rated their child lower in fussy eating. So we need to include both mums and dads when planning and implementing interventions with fussy eaters, particularly those from socioeconomically disadvantaged backgrounds. Thank you.